What's up, all Power Ass crew? Remember last week's video when we did the drive shaft? I told you I would show you how I store my extra drive shaft. Well, I haven't painted it yet because it makes it pop out a lot better in my thumbnail, but I'll paint it later. So what we got here is 4-inch drain style PVC. We got the cap here, just a regular plain cap, and a cleaned out cap. This comes on top of it. This is threaded, and you'll see later in the video what it is. This right here screws into it. This is all 4-inch right here. It's a perfect size to slide an extra drive shaft into, and it gives you just enough room on this end right here to store some extra tools, parts, whatever it is you may need. So if you're the type of person that likes to save money and do the jobs yourself, this is the right channel for you. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up at the end of this, or hit it now if you like. So enough of that gabbing, let's show you how to get this done. So I'm building this thing. I'm going to try to make it as long as I possibly can. So therefore I'll get the drive shaft and any needed tools, extra parts I want to carry inside of it, all in that tube as much as possible. So this here is what we're going to be using. This is your what's called a clean out adapter. This right here goes on top of the 4-inch PVC. This right here screws out like so. But it makes a good tight seal, good watertight seal, so it doesn't get any debris, crud up inside there, protect your tools and your extra parts and stuff you may carry. So what I'm going to try to do is get that thing tucked up underneath here as much as possible. As you can see here, I've got bumped underneath this right here. It's clearing the headlight adjustment screw. It's clearing my LEDs over here. I think I'm actually pretty good to go on that. And I've already pre-measured this, to be honest with you, and I've come up to about 24 3/4 inch. I should be able to get away with. I could probably get away with 25. You know what the heck, I'm gonna cut 25, and if I have to take some off, so be it. So I'm gonna go for 25 inches and see if I can cram that baby in there. Okay, so I'm gonna cut my 4-inch pipe to 25 inches. The pipe we're gonna be using is not schedule 40. Don't worry about that. Just get the regular drain pipe, the cheaper stuff. And as you come down through here, where's that? Right there. See, you got a 3,000 pound minimum crush rating. Still gonna be strong. Still gonna withstand the heat of your engine cycling from when your engine gets hot, cold, stuff like that. Now on the end of here, I have to piece off for whatever those reasons when I was working on a home project. So I'm taking my drain cap right here, putting it over the end of it, and I'll take this and I'll draw me, if it was right, I would. Put me a line, there it goes. Got a little bit of green line right there. So I'll put the line all the way around it, then I'll take my hacksaw, go around it and cut that. That's where I got squared. Then from there, back this way, cut 25 inches and hack it off. Now there's about 25 inches from the end to there. Now if you want a little trick for cutting, you can take a wrap your tape measure, pull it good and tight, and it'll give you a pretty decent cut line. You just take your marker, go all the way around it right there, and you can draw you a line that'll keep your cuts pretty straight. And you just take your saw, cut. I mean, if you've got the right kind of saw, you should be able to keep it perpendicular, come straight down. Or if you've got a, what the thing's called? The cutting blocks that has the grooves in it. You lay something inside the groove, and it uses the cutting block to guide your saw. I can't think what that thing's called. But anyway, if you don't have one of those contraptions, draw your line all the way around it and cut it. The one thing about using drain pipe, one end of it's going to be swelled up like this right here. If I get along that frame, we can see it's dark. It comes narrow right here. Right there it gets a little wider, it comes across. And that's where you can take the drain pipe, stick it in each end like that, and just run it on down through your yard if you've got drainage for your foundation or whatever your case may be. Don't use this end, use the other end. I've just got the ends stuck on it right now. I want to pre-test my fit before I glue my ends on, because once you glue those ends on, it's done, baby. So I'm looking. See, I've got this back. I'm touching the battery with it, which whenever I strap it down, I'm not going to be touching the battery. I'm going to pull it away from it a little bit, because what you don't want is this rubbing against the battery and possibly wear a hole in your battery wall right there. Coming out through here. See, I've got about 3/8 of an inch clearance to my headlight bucket, and I'm clearing my LED fan there, so it looks like I'm good to go. And I do have these bottomed out on the tubing right here, so at this point I'm going to pull them back off and glue them on, and we'll set our straps up to hold everything in place. Oh, in case y'all wondered, there's my fuse block right there, and it's not touching it at all either. I can't get the camera down low enough because of this right here, but it's not touching it. If you've got the cap that sits over top of this, which this one's missing, it'll be sitting just on top of it. The cap means the thing that goes on top of this. It'll be sitting just on top of it, so it'll be all right. Now what you want to do is take your glue, and I'll show you what it is here in a moment, what I use, but I mean, it's your standard plumbing, all-purpose PVC, CPVC glue. Come around it like this right here. Make you a few loops. Don't get it on the paint. Like it matters on this thing, huh? Give it a little more glue. Put it on this. Make my circles around there. Get it put in good. I don't know if it kicks it good, but I'll do it one more time. I know somebody's gonna jump on, some plumber's gonna jump on there, or construction, and say, "You didn't prime it, you didn't clean it." I know I didn't. But I'm not actually doing house plumbing. I'm building some weird contraption for my Jeep. Take and push and rotate at the same time. The bottom's out, rotate a little bit more, and just let it ride. What that glue do, it'll fuse the plastics together. Now, if I were actually doing plumbing work, I would actually get me some sandpaper, clean that up real good, get me some acetone, wipe it down real good, because I don't want, if I'm doing plumbing, I don't want that stuff to leak and have to do it again. This ain't got no chance of leaking. This is simply something to hold my tools, my dry shaft, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue the other side, and I'll be back with you in a moment. And there's the glue I was using, just all-purpose cement, PVC, CPVC, and ABS. Pick it up at Lowe's, $6 or so a can. Cheap. The only thing about it is if you don't use it up, I mean, if you let it sit for a long time, the stuff does cure the can once you open it up, so you want to use it within reason. So I've got several projects to do that involves PVC, so I'll use it. I'll use most of it anyway. Then once your glue dries, get you some 180 grit sandpaper, sand this thing down real good, wipe it down, and paint it with whatever you want to. I'll show you what I will paint it with. The last one of these things I made, I just used this right here. Picked this up at you pick this up at most of your auto parts store. I think I got this at Harbor Freight is where I picked this up at. So that's what I use on them, because it's got that textured non-skid finish right here. So when you pick it up, you know you got good grip on it versus using like a Rust-Oleum paint, you know, a smooth paint. Then it's a little bit slick, especially if you got your hands get greasy or whatever, you grab hold of it. You want it to have some kind of texture, so when you grab hold of it, you can pick it up. Because what I plan on putting in this is my spare drive shaft and some various tools up here in the front. So I use truck bed coating because, like I said, it gives it a good texture to be able to grab hold of it, and it just looks good. So there you go. So once you get it all painted up and everything, which I'm not going to do in this video right at the moment because I'm running out of daylight, and you get the point. You know how to paint, so there you go. This is where your factory jack will normally sit at. Jack would hook in here. You had a strap thing to come over top of that held it in place. This is where I will put this in place here. And I've got plenty of room. It's not hitting my headlight bucket up here. I'm not hitting my battery back here. So what am I going to hold it in place with? Good question. These right here. Picked these up at Harbor Freight. They are just lashing straps. See? Alright, so what we're going to do is take this out of the way, sit over here, out of the way. I'm going to take this end right here, loop it through this, like so. Pull most of my excess. Make sure your buckle's in the right position to where you can lash it down like this. And we'll take this, put it back in place. Make sure you got nothing crossed. You take it through your fingers, go like this right here. Make sure that side's flat because you want it to feed through your buckle flat. Your buckle here. Squeeze that down. Feed that under. And pull it on through. And what you could also use too, a lot of your kayaks have got these little black straps that are very similar. You can use them as well. But I think, I forget how much these were at Harbor Freight, but they're pretty cheap. Anyway, then you're going to, of course, lash that down tight, but what you want is enough left over that you can trim this off. because we're about to burn the ends right there. So you're going to take this, and what I like to do is cut them at an angle. That permits me to have a little point to feed it through. It's easier to grab it that way. Take your lighter. Singe those ends together so it doesn't start fraying on you. Because if you don't do this part right here, that'll start fraying out and start unraveling on you. So there you go. Then what you'll do from there, you just take and simply pull that down tight, and you can stick your buckle over here wherever you want to position your buckle. It's totally up to you. Now I'll take this and cinch this down too, because this can be used as a tie-down strap or various other different things that you may come up with. Now I don't have that super tight right now, but it's pretty snug. But I got one more thing I'm doing. Take your other one, again, unravel it, roll it, whatever. I like to go under here, come over top of that. And you can cut that off too if you want, because I will in a minute. Okay, so we got our strap flat here, let our buckle here, feed this through your hands so you keep it flat. And your buckle here, feed it through. And see, if this is flat right here, instead of that angle cut like I did on that, if you had that angle cut into it, it's a lot easier to feed these through. Then from there, you'll hold this buckle and you'll pull, cinch it down, and they'll pull up against this rod right here and cinch this up to where it will hold it good and tight. Again, position your buckle someplace where it's not in the way of anything, and be sure if you've got a long tail that when you trim it off, that's not going to get into your fan belts or anything down here. So we're going to take this, cut that angle there. Singe this one first so it don't give you no issues. The other side. And kind of like paracord, take your fingers and grab it and pull outward like this right here. That keeps that edge thin, makes it easier to feed through your buckle. And just in case if I ever want to use this one, go ahead and take care of this so it don't start fraying on me. I got called into work today, which put me behind on my videos. So that's how we're strapping them down. Of course, I want my buckle on the other side, but we'll get to that here in a minute. You take this. There we go. And you pick it up on out of there. So what we'll do at this point, we'll unscrew our cap. You've got all that right there for storage. And being that the dry shaft will be the least likely thing I'll need to use, I'll take a bunch of old grease rags, wrap around it like that. They wrap around the front. And this is my yoke end right here, see? Take your rags, bunch them down inside there. And if you want to, you can wrap the dry shaft completely in rags or whatever if you, want to try to avoid any kind of rattles or anything like that. You could also take tape and wrap this around your drive shaft to hold the rags onto there to prevent rattles. There's several different ways you can do it. And once you get all the rags stuffed in and taped in, however you want to do it, it fits in there pretty darn snug. Now, rattle's not too bad underneath the hood. You'll never notice it. But if you did have it wrapped in rags and turn around, wrap tape around it, it'd be much quieter. But you've still got that much room for storage of tools and various different things. So let's see. Extra crankshaft position sensor. Stuff that in there. Extra relays. Extra fuses. Now remember my last video where I told you I keep extra parts? I even keep a ratchet right here, the socket and everything that changes out my U-joints. I keep them in a little bag like that, and all my extra little straps and stuff. Stick them inside there. Now you can make these more accessible if you want to, but these right here is where I change out. If I got flat, this has multi sizes here. Like this is 21 millimeter, it's a 7/8. 17 millimeter, 19. Of course, then I got a couple extensions. This goes on my breaker bar. This is what I changed my tires with for the lug nuts. Stick those in there if you want. What you put in here from there, totally up to you. Look at that. I found some body plugs. I wonder where I put those. A couple more relays. But honestly, if you're going to put, see, these in there like that, and you've got extra electronic parts, the crankshaft position sensor, it won't hurt it. And if you got a bunch of relays and stuff like that, what I suggest you do, take this heavy stuff like this, wrap them in rags. Not only will it cut back on the rattles, but it also kind of keeps from beating the other more sensitive stuff that you may put in there. Keep from beating it up. And also your fuses and relays and stuff, it's actually smarter to put them in like really heavy freezer bags, not sandwich bags, but freezer bags. Freezer bags are the walls on their bag is much thicker, and they'll last a lot longer. So, like I said, what you put in here, totally up to you. But I wanted to make one long enough to keep my spare drive shaft in, and that's what I did. And once you stuff it full of all the tools and various different parts you want to keep, what I would also put in here, I've got crankshaft position sensor in there, camshaft position sensor, because there's two sensors on the 4.0s and 2.5s that'll leave you stranded. Crankshaft and camshaft position sensor. The rest of them you can limp to your auto parts store or whatever. If you was be going on a trip or something, the two sensors you want to have extras: crankshaft, camshaft position sensor. The rest of them you can limp your way to the auto parts store and you'll be okay. It may throw codes, may run like crap, but it'll get you there. Crankshaft and camshaft position sensor is what you want to keep extras. So I've got an extra camshaft position sensor that's in the shop. I'll stick it in there as well, but once I get everything stuffed in there, then what I'll do is, if I got any extra room, you can't have too many rags, people. Stuff another rag, cap it off, and strap them in. Looks like I need to burn that a little bit more. Still want to fray a little bit. Melt them ends together. Squish them together. Alright, cool. And just so it's one less thing flopping around, cutting the tag off. See right there where that corner's poking up through? Where I cut it at an angle? Much easier to grab and pull them through. Take your front one. And let's see. For kicks and giggles, I'm going to burn it right there a little bit more. Because that one wanted separating. Make sure this one doesn't burn them ends together completely. Melt them together. Kind of like working with paracord, you know, same scenario. Okay. Drop that down under here. Come up over top of this. Cut that rascal off there. Get it out of my way. Come up over top of this. There we go, baby. Bring my buckle on this side over here. Pull up on this, pull down on this. Yeah, sounded coordinated, didn't it? Get this buckle on the other side of that again. So pick up on your tube, get the buckle on the other side. Here we go. I was able to hold that, pull up on it, which pulled it up against that bracket right there. And we're good. Sweet. there you go. Easy way to store an extra drive shaft or store a whole bunch of tools or extra parts or whatever it is you may need. Now, some of you, if you follow my channel for a long time, you'll realize I did this same type of video a long time ago. Same scenarios, if this one's just a lot longer, because I wanted a way to carry an extra drive shaft and not be storing it, have it rolled around inside there or something. But let me show you something. Now, just in case you don't want to store it under the hood, and yes, I'm using a flashlight out here because it's starting to get dark. Well, actually, using my flashlight on my phone, but anyway. See that loop right there? Right here? You can tie it right against that, and I haul concrete and everything inside this thing, so that's the reason it's all piled up. But that loop, a footman's loop right there, what that's actually for is, if you take your top down, and this bar's right there, and you take this completely out, what they're for, that footman loop right here, is for tying those in place right there. Bet you didn't know that. So you could always take one of those straps, wrap around this footman's loop right there, and tie your PVC tube and all your extra tool storage against that right there, and it won't roll around and won't rattle. Cool, cool. See, even in the exits, you need to pay attention. I might just show you some. Showed you those footman's loop, what they're for, and that spreader bar to tie those in place. Good place to tie that if you want to do it that way. Totally up to you. So everyone, if you enjoyed this video, hit me with a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, leave me some cool comments down below. But I want to say, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Peace out. Later, y'all. Ooh, it's getting dark out here.